Hi, in this video we will learn how to call external REST API services in our backend applications. For this purpose we will do two examples. The first example will be getting the stock price information from Nasdaq, and the second one we will be using the Google Drive API to create a folder in our Google Drive. So for this purpose let's create a new application. Let's call it REST API. Next, this will be a basic one. Let's create this application. Let's get into the details. We will be just calling, making external REST API calls. So for this purpose, we don't need model definitions. I will start with the first one, get stock price. This is the first endpoint. This is the first endpoint, this is the first service that will be calling the Nasdaq API to get stock prices. Let's make it post stock, let's put it like price, and the rooted service will be a new service called get stock price. Okay, sorry, this one. Okay. To call an external REST API, we need this call REST API endpoint node. Okay. Let's go to the Nasdaq API. If I go to the stock API, this one. If I go to the dashboard. If I go to the documentation, RESTful documentation, then there will be stock Forex, crypto, no, this one I guess. Yeah, daily open close, this one. We will be calling this one, okay? We will be calling this this endpoint to get information about a specific stock for a specific date, okay? This is the endpoint that we will be calling, and this is the structure of the endpoint that we will be calling. So let's go back to here. Let's start this one. Our method will be get. Yes, this will be a get method, as you can see here. What will be the endpoint? Okay, our endpoint will be this one. This one, let's copy this section here. Okay. Then actually I need to add two input parameters here, query string parameters. One of them is the stock name, stock ticker. And another parameter will be date. And the date parameter will be text. I will not be configuring as a date time value. Okay. Now I come back here. This is the endpoint we will be configuring here. Sorry. Close. Then what else we have? We got the stock price. Okay, sorry, stock ticker. We need to have the stock ticker. This will be coming from the query string parameter. Okay. Then we got a slash plus then the date. Okay, you should have also the date information, and the date coming also from the query string parameter. Then this is the endpoint we have. Okay, do we have the API key? Yes, we've got the API key. Okay, and we will be adding it to the query string parameter. As you can see, the API key is here with the name API key. This will be the API key. And what's the value of the API key? I already created an API key. This is the API key that we will be using. Okay, so the value of the API key will be this one. Okay, and this API key value will be appended to the query string parameters. Okay, then do we have some query string parameters? Yes, we've got a query string parameter called like adjusted equals to true. So let's add that one also. Okay, and the name of the parameter will be adjusted, and its value will be true. Okay, and I think we are all set for this thing. What will be the output response? This is a sample response object. Let me copy this one. As a response, this will return an object. Like this is the opening and closing curly brackets. This is a JSON object. So it will be a custom object. This is the response we will be getting. And this is like a decimal, date time, decimal, text, integer. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and that's it. Then as a response, we can put the return success response here. By this way, we configured our first REST API call. Okay, So let's create an environment to run this thing. Development environment. Snapshot deployment. Okay, let's go to the test panel. Okay, this is our endpoint that we will be calling. What are the input parameters? We will be looking for the Apple stock price for 2021, let's say 11, let's say 17 yesterday. Okay. Oops, not found. What's the not found? Data not found. Let's request for it. That's code 4. It's API not found. What was the stock ticker? Let me check. APL, sorry. APL, not APPL. Okay, so it returned the response. We get the information about our REST API call. Okay, so what you can do is, this was a very simple example. I mean, you can also do some additional things here, right? If you got some logical statements, like if you would like to do some if else statements, you can drop this thing and you can use the values that you received from the REST API call in your other nodes services. Okay, that's it for the first nodes. Okay, let me put it back to here. Let's do some other examples. Let's say Nasdaq. Let's do some Nasdaq tickers. If you can get some additional tickers. Let's say Google, right? GOG, right? GOG. Let's see. Yeah, this is for the Google. What about Tesla? Do we have the Tesla ticker? TSLA. Okay, TSLA. Yeah, you also got that one. Okay, it's working fine. So let's move to our second example. Our second example will be using the Google Drive API. Let me close these things. Let's create a new one. Create new folder. So we will be using the Google Drive API to create a new folder. Okay, let's put it post folders. Okay, rooted service will be create new folder. Okay, let's create this one. Create new folder. As a start node, as an input, we will be getting the folder name as an input. Okay, and similarly, what we have done, we will be calling a REST API node. And we need to get the details about the Google Drive API, right? Let's go to Google Drive API. API documentation. If I go to here, API reference, okay, then if I go to the file section, create section, I can get some information about the methods that I need to use. We will not be uploading a file, we will be creating a folder, so we need to use this endpoint. This is the endpoint, this is the method type post. So we will be using a post method, and the endpoint will be this one. Okay, and what else do we need to do? Let's go down. Query string parameters. We will not be using any query string parameters. For the authentication authorization, we need to provide an access token. Okay, we need to provide a bearer token. Let me go back to here. Bearer token. And the token will be, we need to create an access token using the OAuth 2.0. So there's an easier way to do that one. OAuth playground. So this can help you to get authentication tokens. OAuth authentication tokens. So if you go to here, then I will be using the Google Drive API. This is the Google Drive API, and I need this one. Okay, this is used for create, delete, edit folders and files. Let's click on authorize. It will be asking my Google accounts. I'm using this temporary one. Let's continue. Okay, then it created a refresh token and access token. So I need this one. I need this access token. Let me copy this thing, come back here. Okay, our bearer token will be this one. Okay, the one that we copied here. we don't have any query string parameters. Header is I think we need to send application JSON, right? Content type application JSON. Content type application JSON. Okay. Then body type will be, we will be sending a JSON object in the body. Okay. If you go to the documentation, the request body, actually we need to set 3 parameters in this case: the name, the folder that we are creating, the type. We need to mention that we are creating a folder, not a file, and whether there is a parent folder or not. Okay, the 3 parameters we need to use. We don't need to use this one because we will be creating files directly in the root directory, so you don't need to specify the parent right now. We need to specify the meme type, which will be a folder, and we need to specify, I think, the name of the folder that we will be creating. So if I go back to here, we will be doing something like this. Okay, we will be defining a JSON object here. Okay, so actually let me open this thing, it's much easier. So this will be name, that will be a name, and the name will be coming from folder name, okay, as an input parameter. We are getting it from the query string parameter. Then meme type, okay, and the meme type will be, and I will just put here the meme type. This is for folders that we need to use. It's mentioned in the documentation, okay, and this is what we will be using. So we also configured the JSON body structure. And what will be the response? What will be the response of this thing? If I go here, documentation, response, okay, this is a file response. This is quite a large response file. I don't need everything here. I just need these things. Okay, maybe this 4 items here. I will just get this thing. I go back to here. I will be returning an JSON object. Okay, let me put this thing here. This is all string, this is all string, this is all string, this is all string. Then it's Altogic automatically created all the stuff for us. Okay, then the final node we will be using is the response return response node. If I connect this thing, I think it should work right now. Okay. Okay, bearer token, I mean, I hard coded this, basically copy and paste. If I want, I can also put it as like a query string parameter and so on, but for the moment I think that's fine. Let me do final check. Post, this one, bearer token, that's fine. Content type, that's fine. And we've got an application JSON body, and the JSON structure is this one. So we use this one, the input that we get from the query string parameter as an input to this JSON. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's go to the folder, but before doing that one, let's go to the drive, google.com. I will be going to this one. Okay, I don't have any folders right now here. Okay, so let's run this thing, folders, that's the parameter, my new folder, number 1. Okay, let's run this. Let's see how it performs. Okay, it successfully executed that thing. If I go back to here, do I have my new folder? Yep, as you can see, you got the new folder created in Google Drive. Okay, so I mean it's quite easy to configure the REST API, external REST API calls in Altogic. I mean, we've done 2 examples. The first example we have done was basically very simple one. As an input, it basically accepted query string parameters in the endpoint and a bearer token. That's it. And the second one is a little bit more complicated one. We not only provided like the bearer token, endpoint information, headers, and so on, but we also provided some information in the body of the request. I hope that helps. Thanks a lot for watching.